Hello everyone. Today we are going to start with our new topic that is hormonal control. And hormonal control we are going to study in both in case of males as well as in case of females. So let's start. Here is a picture of male reproductive hormonal control in which you can see that this is a flowchart format which you are supposed to draw. This is a effect of the hypothalamus. This gonadotrophin releasing hormone is going to be secrete, and here you can see that stimuli from other areas in the brain. This is a hypothalamus. Okay, so here under the influence of this one, then it is going to secrete gonadotrophic releasing hormone, and it is going to affect or stimulate the secretion of the anterior part of the pituitary, and ultimately anterior part of the pituitary is going to secrete two sort of hormones. One is follicle stimulating hormone, another is luteinizing hormone. They both are having the different effect. This follicle stimulating hormone is going to further secrete this testosterone. Basically that spermatogenesis will be there in the testes because of the this hormone, that is a follicle stimulating hormone. And another one is a luteinizing hormone in which there is a secretion of androgen production, and it is going to control the activities of the primary and secondary sex characteristic. And here you can see this luteinizing hormone, which is also known as ICSH. It is going to be influenced by the Leydig cells, and ultimately it will be secreting testosterone. And testosterone is also going to put effect on the Sertoli cells, and finally the sperm production will be there. Introduction we are going to start. In human, males and female reproductive cycles are controlled by the interaction of hormones. Hormones are going to play a very important role, and in both the cases it is going to be influenced by the hypothalamus and anterior pituitary with hormones from reproductive tissues. Whatever the hormones are there from the reproductive tissue, either it is male or female, it is also going to affect. And in both sexes, the hypothalamus monitors and causes the release of hormones from the pituitary gland. When the reproductive hormone is required, whenever the reproductive hormone will be required, then this hypothalamus is going to send a gonadotrophin releasing hormone. Learn it properly. Gonadotrophin releasing hormone, it stands for GnRH, to the interior pituitary. So what is going to be happen? Hypothalamus is going to produce a sort of hormone that is known as gonadotrophin releasing hormone. ये किसको भेजा जाएगा? It will be sent to the interior part of the pituitary. Got it? And this cause the release of follicle stimulating hormone. और इसकी वजह से क्या होगा? फॉलिकल स्टिमुलेटिंग हार्मोन यानी कि एफएसएच, जो कि सिक्रीट किए जाते हैं कहाँ से? इंटीरियर पिट्यूटरी से. एज वेल एज वन मोर हार्मोन इज आल्सो गोइंग टू बी सिक्रीट फ्रॉम द इंटीरियर पिट्यूटरी, दैट इज अ ल्यूटिनाइजिंग हार्मोन. ये दोनों ही हार्मोन सिक्रीट होंगे कहाँ से? इंटीरियर पार्ट ऑफ द पिट्यूटरी से, अंडर द इन्फ्लुएंस ऑफ द hypothalamus secretion, that is a gonadotrophin releasing hormone. And next thing you have to note that the body must reach puberty. For this process, the body must reach to the puberty in order for the adrenal to release the hormones that must be present for GnRH to be produced. So when the body is going to attain a certain age, that is a puberty, then only this effect is going to be there, and it will be affected from the adrenal to release the hormone and must be present for GnRH to be conducted. So adrenal is also going to affect, although this FSH and LH are named after their function in female reproduction, but they are produced in both sexes and plays important role in controlling the reproduction. Other hormones have specific functions in the males and female reproductive system. Now we are going to enter in the male and the female hormonal control in a separate format. Let's see. Here is the hormonal control in the male. As you can see that here is the hypothalamus, which is going to release gonadotrophin releasing hormone, which will be sensed by the interior pituitary. And this interior pituitary has released two sort of hormone, that is FSH and LH. Now let's see. The growth, maintenance and function of the secondary sex organs, that is epididymis, vas differentia, penis, and accessory gland, that is prostate, seminal vesicle, copper gland, etc. These are under the control of male hormones. ये सारी की सारी किस चीज के कंट्रोल में है? मेल हार्मोन. मेल हार्मोन क्या है? बेसिकली टेस्टोस्टेरॉन. And this testosterone is going to be secreted by the Leydig cell of the testes. Got it? This is the first point. Okay, now growth, maintenance and function of seminiferous tubule. Seminiferous tubule you might have seen in the section of the testes. There was the seminiferous tubule, and inside the seminiferous tubule only the sperm formation was occurring. Okay, and along with the Leydig cell which was there in between the seminiferous tubule cell, in between the space of the seminiferous tubules, the Leydig cells were also there, and their main function is to produce the androgen, basically male hormone. These are regulated by the follicle stimulating hormone. इनको कंट्रोल करने के लिए कौन चाहिए आपको? FSH चाहिए, and interstitial cell stimulating hormone, that is stand for ICSH. ICSH and LH are same hormone, and they are also going to be this FSH and LH. They are going to be secreted from the anterior pituitary only. Okay, and release of FSH as well as ICSH, that is LH, in turn are regulated by the release of hypothalamic gonadotrophin releasing hormone, that is GnRH, and that hormone is only secreted by the hypothalamus only, GnRH. Okay, and when we are talking about the category of the hormones, then we are having the three principal hormones, that is the follicle stimulating hormone, that is it stimulates the process of spermatogenesis as you can see in the picture. Then luteinizing hormone, it stimulates the production of testosterone. Okay, this is the luteinizing hormone. It is going to be helpful during the production of testosterone, and this testosterone is going to stimulate the development of male secondary sex characteristic and spermatogenesis. Okay, so next thing, Sertoli cells. As we must be knowing that Sertoli cells are the cells which are present inside the seminiferous tubule only, and they are meant for providing a nutrition to the developing sperm. Okay, these Sertoli cells of the seminiferous tubules are also responsible for the secretion of androgen binding protein, that is ABP, and inhibin protein. They are also secreting inhibin protein. This is a very important point which you have to focus on. ABP, that is a androgen binding protein, is thought to play a role in the process of spermatogenesis by concentrating testosterone. तो ये ABP क्या करता है? टेस्टोस्टेरॉन को कंसंट्रेट करता है किसमें? In the seminiferous tubule. And inhibin also suppress follicle stimulating hormone secretion. So this was about the male hormonal control, and now we are going to set the another topic, that is the onset of puberty in the male. ये कब होता है basically? In case of boys it generally occurs later between the age of 12 and 16, but in case of girl it's nearly start at the age of 11 or 12. Okay, it is triggered by the secretion of the hormone testosterone in the testes. तो ये trigger कब होता है? जब testosterone का formation मेल्स में चालू होता है. Okay, this hormone brings about growth and maturation of the secondary sex organ. Because of the effect of this hormone, the secondary sex organs develop, and the development of the accessory sex characters are there. The first sign of puberty in boys is usually that their testicles get bigger and the scrotum begins to thin and redden. Broadening of the shoulder, this part of the male is going to become broadened, and when we are talking about the female, then the female pelvic part is going to be broadened. Okay, pubic hair also start to appear at the base of the penis. Okay, so this sort of pubic hair also develop in case of females. Also underarms are also getting the hairs. Development of the breast in case of females, as you can see the development of testicles in case of males. Okay, deepening of the voice due to enlargement of larynx. In contrast, in case of female, there will be a sweetening of the voices there. The growth, maintenance, and the function of the seminiferous tubules and Leydig cells are controlled. See, these are the basic hormone, follicle stimulating hormone, and LH are there, which are going to control the entire process. And these two are controlled by the hypothalamus. Next in the picture is a female reproductive hormone, which we are going to discuss. The above section you are able to see that hypothalamus, gonadotropin release hormone, that is the same hormone which is released in case of males also, and it is going to affect the secretion of the pituitary. Again, pituitary is going to secrete two sort of hormone, that is FSH and LH. Now the next picture will be different because this is a female reproductive system. Okay. So the control of reproduction in females is more complex. At puberty, hypothalamus releases gonadotropin releasing hormone. It was there in the males also. That is the reason I have discussed this section in the introduction only. GnRH, which stimulates the anterior pituitary gland. Here you can see that it is going to affect the anterior pituitary also, and this anterior part of the pituitary is going to secrete two hormones, that is follicle stimulating hormone as well as luteinizing hormone. So this follicle stimulating hormone stimulate the growth of Graafian follicles. Graafian follicles you have seen in the section of ovary. Okay, the sort of cells which was surrounding the ovum, that is a secondary oocyte. Follicle stimulating hormone stimulate the growth of Graafian follicle. Then next thing, maturation of the ovum and secretion of estrogen by follicle cells. Now follicle cells produce the hormone. This follicle cells, here it is also going to secrete the hormone inhibin. That it was there in the male also, which inhibit follicle stimulating production. Whenever it is required, how much it is required, it is going to be controlled with the help of the inhibin. The luteinizing hormone also from the anterior pituitary stimulates release of ovum, that is ovulation. Now formation of corpus. See LH, here is the LH. Here LH is going to affect the process of basically menstrual cycle also. So this LH, which is also there from the anterior pituitary, it is going to stimulate the release of ovum. Ovum को release कराता है कहाँ से? Ovary से. ठीक है? And whatever the empty part after the release of the ovum, that Graafian follicles will be there, it is going to transform into corpus luteum. Okay, and this corpus luteum, which is yellowish in mass and structure, it is going to produce the hormone progesterone, which is very important female hormone. In addition, estrogen and progesterone are released from the developing follicles. Here follicles are going to release the sort of hormone, that is the estrogen. These two are basically meant or known as basically female hormones. Next, estrogen is the basically reproductive hormone in females that assists the endometrial regrowth, ovulation and calcium absorption. तो ये estrogen का role है. It is also responsible for the secondary sexual characteristic of females. Secondary sexual characteristic जब हम बात करते हैं, then these are breast development, flaring of the hips, basically the part is getting broadening, and the shortened period necessary for the bone maturation. Bone maturation is also required in case of females, so calcium is very very important factor. Now progesterone assists the endometrial regrowth and inhibition of FSH. तो FSH को inhibit करने का काम भी होता है और LH release करने का. In female, FSH stimulates development of egg. ये जो FSH है आपका, ये क्या होता है? It is going to stimulate the development of the eggs. It is also known as ova, and it develops the structure called the follicles because the ovum is going to be surrounded by the follicular structure, and that is under the influence of this follicle stimulating hormone only. Now next part, estradiol and progesterone are steroid hormones basically that prepares the body for pregnancy. This estradiol diol is similar to the estrogen basically. So these are same thing. Estradiol and progesterone, these are the steroid hormones and they are going to prepare the body for the pregnancy. Estradiol produces secondary sex characteristic which we have discussed in females, while both estradiol and progesterone regulate the menstrual cycle. For the menstrual cycle, these both the hormones are required. At the end of the pregnancy, the corpus albicans. This corpus albicans is nothing else. It is the transformation of the corpus luteum into another phase. Okay, that is known as a corpus albicans. It secretes another hormone. See, corpus luteum was secreting progesterone, and this corpus albicans is secreting relaxin, which relaxes the cervix and the ligament of the pelvic girdle, so that easy birth of the young one will be there. And estrogen and progesterone, they are also regulating the growth, maintenance and function of the secondary sex organs in the females. So this was all about the hormonal control in the female and the male. So go through it properly. Okay. And few more topics still are there that we are going to proceed in the next lecture. Thank you.